guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. My name is Heather. I'm a homeschooling mom of 3 kids, elementary, high school, and recent graduate. Today we are doing another unboxing of Sterling ink planners that I purchased. So I am super excited to be sharing a couple of other planners that I got, not on launch day. These ones I ordered, I think September 10th maybe. It's October 9th when I'm filming this, and you may hear Lucy. She is downstairs playing on her silks, as well as doing some crazy singing. So in the little envelope here, there is a card with a QR code. Don't know where to start. Scan here to get original hand-painted stickers to decorate the pages, and then a little sheet of stickers. These actually are slightly different than the ones that I got before, which I've already used these, so but the paper for these is kind of that matte paper, and this is not. This is, I think, white paper. I don't think they're transparent. No, so these ones are more transparent. These are still very, very pretty. So I have 2 planners here, and you may be saying to yourself, Heather, why did you buy 2 more planners? Didn't you say that you were going to be using just 1 planner for 2026? Yes, I did say that. If you saw my previous Sterling ink unboxing, I got the N1 full year daily planner. I have been using a B6 daily planner this year since about April and absolutely love it. I decided to get an N1 to combine my daily planning as well as my health tracking, which I have been doing in this N1 monthly booklet. The only thing that I am not pleased about with this planner is that there are no dots on the side of any of the dated pages to designate where the page should be divided, like there is in the back on the blank notes pages. And I have emailed them. I believe that these little dots are supposed to be on all of the dated pages, and either it's a misprint that they missed because the top dot is there, it's just not the dots on the sides of each of the dated pages, or I got one that was a mistake. I haven't really gotten a good answer yet, so I'm hoping to get some resolution. I would much prefer to have these little dots. Can I count down? Yes. Will I get used to where the designation would be? Yes. Is it possible that I would want to actually have a line right directly in the middle instead of the 3 sections? Also yes, but I have not figured that out yet. The other planners that I got were an A6 monthly booklet. This is just for my purse, for when I'm out and about with the kids, for doctor's appointments and ortho appointments and dentist appointments and sports and activities and all of the things kid related, because there's a few notes pages in the back plus all of the monthly calendars, which is all I need. Then I was trying to decide whether I wanted to use the A5 vertical full year or the B5 vertical full year, and I realized that I need this B5 size for monthly planning as well as weekly planning. And then the notes pages is where I thought that I could get away with the A5 size, but ultimately I decided that I am going to be using the B5 for 2026. I did print out my 2026 goals brainstorm labels or headers for trying to figure out some ideas for 2026 ahead of time. I always have a goals notebook, and I usually have started it by this point in the year. I have been purchasing Lloydstrom notebooks for years. Prior to that, I just used a little notebook from Cultivate What Matters, and this year I have no ideas and we're just winging it. So now for the actual unboxing. What are the planners that I purchased? Well, this planner is actually for my husband. This is the A5 horizontal full year planner, and my husband is not a paper planner person. I wish that he was, but he is not. And it is something that I have talked to him a lot about lately, just making sure that we're on the same page. And so he decided that he wanted to try the Common Planner. It does come with a beautiful pencil board with beautiful artwork on it, and it has the months of the year for 2026 on the back. Very, very pretty. I don't know if he would actually use this. He decided to go with the Onyx cover. It says 2026 A5 Horizontal Full Year Common Planner. He got the white edges, not the gold, the way that I like the gold edges. What a surprise there. So this is going to have a very similar layout to what I've already gone over for all of the starting pages. You have your mini monthly calendar in the front. You have your 2 blank pages, which can be used as an index or a vision board. You have your goal breakdown pages, your yearly tracker, your quarterly breakdown pages, which again, I'm unsure if he's going to use all of this space or not. I did really encourage him to get something smaller, but that's okay. And then you move into the monthly calendar section. This does have 14 months, so it starts in December and goes all the way to January of 2027. This does have the 14 months for monthly planning, and then it moves into the weekly planning pages. And because this is a horizontal planner, the week is on the left, and then there's a notes page on the right. And so I thought that this would be really helpful for him to have a space to write like a master to-do list for the week or brain dump or anything that he needs, as well as write down day-specific tasks he has. I am unsure. Like I said, we talked about it a lot, and I talked to him about trying to figure out some better systems so that we are on the same page. I do have a family command center calendar that is in our kitchen. It's always available. However, he often has things going on that are not on that calendar and just not on my radar at all. And so we're trying to fix some of that. Plus just general keeping up with house projects and things like that. Sometimes I think that it's helpful. Well, I always think it's helpful to have a place to write these things down. So we'll see. This I think will probably be the 12th or 14th paper planner I've purchased for him over the years, and I'm unsure what he's going to end up doing. So this does go right through the end of December, and it actually has the first few days of January 2027 because the last day is in the middle of the week. And then you have the 367 blank notes pages in the back. And I think that this is a really fun layout. For me personally, with the way that I do my personal planning, horizontal planning does not work for me. I do really like the idea of having this page, this blank page on this side, but I know that I just need that vertical planning space for my personal planning. So that is why I don't use a horizontal planner. I know so many people love them, and actually, gosh, maybe in 2014 or 2015, I purchased a horizontal planner from Erin Condren. It was whenever the first year that they came out with a horizontal planner was. It may have been later. It might have been 2016 or 2017. And I used it for memory keeping because I was just writing a few lines each day and I was putting in a picture of my kids. I kept up with that for about half of the year, but not the full year. So horizontal planning is not something that works all that well for me. However, I did get one other planner, and this is the A6 Horizontal Compact Full Year 2026 Common Planner in the mist color. I think that was the only option that was available. And oh my goodness, this is the cutest little planner. I really wanted to get some of the teeny tiny planners because I just think they are adorable. I don't have much use for them because I write large and I have a lot of things that I keep track of in my paper planners, but I thought that this little A6 size in the horizontal might work as a work notebook for me. Now, like I said at the beginning of this video, I buy a lot of notebooks every year. I buy a bunch of Lloydstrom notebooks. This has the beautiful gold edging that I love. So I have a Lloydstrom notebook that I usually get each year in a B5 size where I take all of my notes for my work, any coaching calls that I do, any content that I'm planning out, outlines of things, I write it all down in that B5 Lloydstrom notebook. I do not need to use all of the pages all of the time. Sometimes I do. And those Lloydstrom notebooks, how many pages do they have? The Lloydstrom notebooks have about 123 pages. This is my book journal one, so it's not as applicable, but I think that I usually do about 80 pages in the B5 size. So after I say that, this might be way too small with the notes pages, but my thinking was this. This is my thinking. First, it does have all of the normal sections. It has the mini monthly calendars, which I can barely even see the numbers on this. In fact, let me see if I can bring you in a little bit closer. So hopefully my Zoom is working okay. So you have your mini monthly calendar section, which I guess would be good for me to write down when I'm having my quarterly reset weeks / 13th week, quarterly reset for goals and such, when I have time off, when I am doing something specific, when my live stream days are, that kind of stuff. I'm not sure I would necessarily use this though. And then there is the 2 blank pages here. You do have your goal breakdown section still. It's not a ton of space. I don't think I would be able to write small enough to write in here. It does have the yearly tracker. I was thinking that I might use this to keep track of time blocking, how many time blocks I'm using for work-related tasks throughout the day. I do have an app. I think it's called the A Tracker app. I might have made up that name, but I think that's what it's called, where I have all kinds of different tasks that I do for my work, and I can click start and stop when I'm doing those things throughout my day, as well as just general, okay, well, this is how long I spent editing, this is how long I spent writing or filming or whatnot. I would like to keep track of how many hours a day I'm actually working. I think it's a lot, but it's spread over many different time blocks throughout the day. So I think it would be interesting to understand that. Then there is a quarterly goals breakdown or priorities section. So if I want to keep track of any things that I'm doing daily, things like checking in with Patreon or checking in with Maine Homeschool Network or checking emails or whatever, I could keep track in the habit tracker section, and I can have some more detailed information, maybe around different campaigns or whatnot, or different launches for different either homeschool related materials and resources or planner related things throughout the year. So there are 4 quarters of that, just like in the A5 size and just like in all of the sizes. Just the sizing itself is different. There's not a ton of space to write something up here. So either I'm writing something across these 6 squares, or I have some sort of color code and come in and use that for that section. Then you move into the monthly calendar sections, and I tend to do most of my broad content planning on Google Calendar, and because I can drag and drop things, but I do like to have a written record of what I post when, plus any sort of important dates and things like that. I like to have a monthly calendar. There aren't a ton of things that I need to write in the monthly calendar, but some financial stuff would be helpful to just have it in another place on paper. And that was just kind of my thinking with these monthly calendar sections. And then obviously writing when I have time off, etc. Or if I'm doing something like a specific challenge, like in October over in my membership community, I'm doing a series called 31 Days of Slow Living, where I'm writing about slow living every day and have a mini challenge or some questions to ponder or whatnot. So having space to write out those ideas would be helpful. And then you get to the weekly planning pages. And these weekly planning pages are horizontal. And the reason that I decided to go with horizontal is because I don't have a lot of things that I need to write down in my day for my work. It's mainly just whatever the video that I'm doing. If I have a couple of things that I want to work on, I will write them down. I do write them in my actual planner. Let me see. This is probably not in the frame at all. I do write a couple of things down in my planner, mainly what my video is for the day and if there are any bigger projects that I want to work on. So I do write a brain dump for the week in my daily planner, but it's not necessarily needed in that space. And I was thinking that this would be good for me to write down any other ideas that I have, especially the notes pages in the back. And I can just use these notes pages the way that I use my notes pages in my Lloydstrom notebook, they're just much smaller. So that is my idea. Will this actually happen? I'm unsure, but I did get this to kind of see if it would work for my work planning. Every year I seem to try to find a work planner for me, and I end up just using to-do lists and space in my daily planner. So it's possible that I just don't need a planner, but I thought that this was so cute and I wanted to grab it to see, and also just specifically for, you know, if it doesn't work for me, it's possible that it will end up becoming Matt's planner. I'm not sure he would want this mist color. I think he would much prefer the onyx, but we will see. So these are the other two planners that I purchased from Sterling Ink. I did do a pen test. I think it went up last week. If you are interested in seeing that, I will leave it linked for you. I probably will not come back and talk too much about these planners. I may mention in a vlog whether or not Matt is using his planner, and on my monthly reset day you may see me use this planner. But as far as like actual plan with me's, I will not be in these planners, but I did want to share them in case you are curious what they looked like. So, and this is the compact size, so it does not have the 367 pages. It only has 120 pages, or actually 119, and they are all numbered and they are divided. Well, nope. Okay. So they're just divided on the top, and these are also only divided on the top, and that might just be because it's such a small planner. I don't know. I'm unsure on the dots this year, guys. Because all of the other planners that I've purchased from Sterling Ink have had these little dots that designate where the middle of the page is, and this year I have received now 3 that don't, so that's okay. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this little peek into my second Sterling Ink order. I would love to hear if you got the horizontal planner and how you use that. I feel like it would be a really great memory keeping planner to use a horizontal planner. You could like write a couple of sentences about your day and then put in some pictures or journal about the week overall. I think that that would be great for a planner like this. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're looking for more help and encouragement around home and homeschooling goals, I would love for you to come check out my membership community. That link is always in the description box. Again, thank you guys so much, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.